Welcome back, everybody, to the Daily Show. I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. And now, let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. And it's been a while since I made a video, about a week. Just taking some time off, summer days, just enjoying the weather and outside. And that's why just making less videos. But market also not doing much. You can see Trump proposes 20% toll on Strait of Hormuz cargo. I mean, I thought this was coming out of Iran. They were gonna actually charge ships to get through the Strait of Hormuz. But with that news, market not really selling off. If you look at it, Dow is pretty flat. What sold off was actually Nasdaq and S&P a little bit here, and then Russell. But mainly, you're seeing a lot of rotation happening in the market. When you look at the market, you can see Dow was down 0.26%, Nasdaq down 1.55%. S&P down 0.79% and Russell down 0.86%, advancing 39.8, declining 57.1. So that tells you the story, what's going on in the market. When you look at 11 sectors, you can see rotation happening. We got energy led the way up nearly 3% on the day. Real estate, communication, consumer defensive, utilities, financial, and then healthcare and the rest. Pretty much, if you look at it, technology took the big one right on the chin, down over 2%. Stock market map, and you will see that on the screen. A lot of rotation. You can see green here. Well, these names were down. Well, if you look at Microsoft, it was down quite a bit. Some of the software names catching a breather today. But what's actually coming down, which is healthy, and to see this rotation happening in the market, well, the memory chips and semiconductor, right? And they're just down tiny bit. They're not down, so much. Another name that came down today even more, that was Oracle. Another name that I think the bounce is right around the corner because it's actually making a new low today, but the RSI did not make that low. So there is a positive divergence right here on the RSI on Oracle. So we'll see how that goes. And then energy sector actually lighting up in the green. Even Amazon was green. A lot of the financial names you can see right here, they were green. So pockets of green, but majority of the red was right here, semiconductor and memory chips. Fear and greed index 44, back into almost neutral. Market sentiment, you can see 36.3 bullish, 37.2 bearish, 26.5 neutral here in this market. And now let's get right into Microsoft and see what's going on. All right, so on Microsoft, it was up 1.53%. But if you look at my screen, as soon as we get closer to, I would say right here, right about 92, 93, and then, the last one was right around that resistant area, around 96. So it's getting rejected every time. Even today, we tried, we got up to 94, came back. Immediately there was a almost $3 pullback, and we closed pretty much at 391. So, I mean, when you look at it, a lot of people frustrated with Microsoft. It was a big move up. We ended up giving up all the gains, making what? A new low. That's crazy, right? When you look at big names like Microsoft, you don't expect something like this. But I think, the worst is possibly behind, because this is not a company that's going to get out of business. And, the AI team and all that, Microsoft is in there, guys. I'm telling you, they're spending so much money, and I don't think they're just, spending money. And I just cannot call the company dumb enough to spend all that money, all that revenue into the, AI team if they're not going to make money, right? So maybe in the short term, investors are just not seeing a lot of things happening, but this is so cheap that it cannot pass out. I know it's really, and even for myself, it's frustrating. You were up massively here and then boom, back to new low. Now we're going back up. No guarantee. I mean, you can see it's weak, it's going up, but it's really slow. And the progress that Microsoft makes every day, every time we go green, like there is no continuation. This was some green days right here back to back. We gave back. This was a gap up and go. We gave all came all the way back to fill the gap, and now we're going back up. So a couple of things I want to point out. We got a gap here. We got more gaps, another gap, and then another gap here. So is that gonna get there to close those gaps at some point? Absolutely. So going into next few days, these next few days are going to be crucial. We have earnings coming up on the 29th of this month. If we can get over, I would say 395, 396, and hold over at least in the short term. 386 right here, 87, 5-day moving average. We're trading above these moving averages. I just need to see Microsoft getting over 395, 396. If we can get a close over that, I think we will see 400 to 405 right here. And from there, I think the upside is definitely, you're going to see a big move to the upside, possibly before earnings. Now, if some bad news comes out, something happens again, yes, things can come down again. And that is why my message for you guys, people that are watching my video, especially with Microsoft, think outside the box. Think long. You can't just get in here. Yes, you can make a quick buck, but it's better to just go long so you don't have to, you know, worry about this mini downtrend that's happening right now. When this thing breaks out, I'm telling you, it's gonna be big and we're gonna go back up to all-time highs once again. On Apple stock, it's up 0.63%. So Apple was a short for me, and I took it as a swing today, but ended up just selling it because it was down about $6 from my entry. I got in here right about 323, pretty much exactly. And then what happened? Look at this, guys. I mean, we're actually holding 317, previous rejection now acting as a support, which is insane. And that's why I'm telling you, it's trading at all-time highs. I know it's totally two different companies, but Microsoft also not gonna go anywhere, right? Apple is the best company out there and is doing it all-time highs again today in this market where Nasdaq selling off. Some of these semiconductors, memory chips names selling off, and Apple is doing this. So you think market is just gonna crash, burn, and go down to zero? Absolutely not. Not with Apple going up like this. So 317 right here can hold. We can continue. We will see that tomorrow. If this thing breaks below 317, we do have support at 314, 5-day moving average. And then look down below here, right around 309. Then we can talk about more downside. But as of right now, the trend is really strong, and this thing is definitely moving higher. On Meta, it's down 1.86%. So Meta yesterday, all the calls that I had with long dated calls. Everything got sold. Huge bounce. I mean, this was massive. $100 up in just a matter of 2 days, guys. It was down here, and then what happened? This was Friday, and boom, this was Friday. This was Thursday. This was Friday. And this is today. Look at the move here on Meta. And that's why you cannot count these names out. Who would have thought that, Meta was going to do this, right? It was about to close the gap, but bulls remained strong here on Meta. We did not fill the gap, and bounce was really substantial here. You can see the volume speaks for itself. And now it's trading over. Uh, it was trading over this 664 range, and today we backed off a little bit, but that's totally fine. I think we can come all the way down to 638, maybe even 633, close the gap. As long as we remain over that, we will see, Meta going higher. So tomorrow, watch this gap as a support gap full reversal. If this thing continues here, maybe builds a flag, watch out for a break over 664. That breaks, we're going back up to 682, and over that, I mean, Meta is heading higher, way higher from where it's trading right now. All right, so just a quick reminder for people that are actually serious and they want to get into the market and get all types of trade ideas, head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description. And we've been getting some awesome trades lately, and you will be able to take advantage of that. On Google, stock is down 1.23%. So we had a nice, decent move up, and now we're pulling back a little bit. So looks like that 350 range is the key zone here to watch. If this thing breaks below 350, it would come down to 342. But if this thing remains here, it's also kind of looking like it's flagging daily. If we can get a breakout over 356, 57, watch out for a move back up to 370 plus right here on Google. On Nvidia, stock is down 3.52%, and this was fantastic because I had calls on Nvidia swing and we sold, then we shorted on Friday. And the reason I'm not showing you guys all the plays here because it just makes the video complicated. It just takes too much time. People that are serious, you know how these things are, especially plays out when you get top and bottom. It was fantastic. I've been calling out here that we've been flagging on the weekly and even daily. We broke out. We're retesting today. So 203 holding, but I'm not in any position right now. I sold my calls, shorted on Friday, and today got paid. I mean, you can see this thing gave back pretty much everything. So it was a nice move up and then nice move down. And to the short side, I don't want to, overstay my welcome and lose my profit. So you want to go long. You don't want to be short all the time, especially on a name like Nvidia. 203 key support zone. We break over 209 50-day moving average. We're going back up to 212. If it comes down under 203, that would be a fake breakout, and this thing will come back, possibly retest 200 to 196 once again. On AMD, it's down 4.21%. So AMD, no good plays here on AMD. This thing moves really fast and moves, it makes pretty big moves nowadays, and the contracts are way expensive than Nvidia. So this thing, it's not really worth playing unless you know exactly what you're doing. That's why I'm more comfortable trading Nvidia. Watch for the gap fill reversal here. If this thing comes down under 533, these two moving averages, we will come and fill the gap at 522.98, maybe even retest 503, and don't forget we still have a gap at 490. This thing remains over, this 533. Watch out for continuation, possibly a break over 584. Will take AMD up to 600, but also earnings coming up beginning of next month. So keep an eye on this. It's been a monster run to the upside without any, significant pullback. On Amazon, stock is up 0.80%. So Amazon had a nice move up and looks like we're, finding resistance here at 250. If we can break that, watch out for a quick move up to 254, 258.65. If we come back in, there is support at 246, underneath that 242, and then 236. On Tesla, stock is down over 3%, and they do have earnings coming out very soon on the 22nd of this month. This is going to be a crucial zone to watch. Even today, we got a bounce off of that level, 390 to 391. That breaks. I mean, this thing can go down really quickly. So right here, right about 391, that's going to be a key support zone. Below that, it can get down to 375 easily. To the upside, if this thing comes up and breaks over 400, watch out for a move up to 410, 50-day moving average, and only then we can talk about more upside on Tesla. All right, so this is not part of the video, but I'm still gonna go ahead and cover the stock for the day. Oracle, you can see, I mean, this thing we made a lower low here. The RSI made a higher low. So positive divergence right here. Does that mean that we're gonna get a big bounce and it's just gonna go up rapidly? No, but look at the bounce that came from this level, guys. There's a gap, I think, at 127 on the daily chart. And this is also, if you look at it, I had the line, I took it off to put this line to make this, chart more clear. But this is like a weekly support zone right here where it's trading. We're trading slightly underneath that level. So I think, the things are getting very oversold. Look at the daily. I mean, this thing is getting really oversold, 26 on the RSI. So I think in near future, you're gonna see a big bounce. We left so many gaps, and look at the recent bounce here, guys. It was 250 plus, and from there we gave back more than $170 almost, and now it's trading at almost 130. So this is a fantastic opportunity. The company is still, I mean, look at this market cap, almost $400 billion market cap. And if you look at from the highs, I mean, this thing is pretty much destroyed. And this is the gap that I was talking about. So, if this thing gets lower, I think it's a fantastic opportunity, but this is also a falling knife. You gotta give this thing time if you're buying, or you gotta put a proper stop loss if you're not, somebody who likes to hold things and you just want quick profit. So watch out if this thing bounces from this level, which we did before. You can see right here, 127 to this 130 area. Watch out if this thing, can hold up that area. We can possibly get a bounce up to that 140 mark, and then even higher. I mean, this thing's selling off for quite some time. And one thing I want to point out today, guys, I mean, look at the volume. I mean, sometime that would mark pretty much bottom, but we need to see confirmation with the price going, next couple days. On Broadcom, it's down 4%, so had a nice move up, and now we're giving back some of those gains. And if you look at my screen, we did close below that support zone 387. So now, if this thing wants to come down, maybe we come all the way down to fill the gap right around 372, 373. That's going to be the next stop. But if this thing can get over that, 387 marker, watch out for a push back up to 400 plus on Broadcom. All right, so on Netflix, it was up 0.63%. They have earnings this week. As a matter of fact, I think it's tomorrow, and we're kind of flagging here. We had this nice move up last week, but faded and now holding right around 73.78. If that support holds up, this could be a higher low, but we need to see a breakout over 78, possibly even 79.36. That would look more bullish on Netflix. But again, with earnings, can't say much because it all will depend on that earnings call coming up, guys. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section.